Britain in the 1960s was a country full of confidence and ambition. New motorways stretched across the countryside, city centres expanded rapidly, and British engineering still carried enormous respect around the world. Along busy streets and quiet country roads alike, luxury cars glided past with polished chrome, elegant styling, and a quiet sense of importance. Back then, appearances mattered. Many British buyers wanted cars that looked expensive, refined, and successful, even if they cost far less than a Rolls-Royce or Bentley. Car makers understood this perfectly. They built saloons filled with dashboards, leather seating, chrome trim, and graceful designs that gave ordinary drivers a taste of luxury motoring. Some looked far more expensive than they really were. Others carried the kind of style that turned heads outside hotels, office buildings, and country houses across Britain. So tonight, we're counting down 10 British cars from the 1960s that looked far more expensive than they actually were. Some became forgotten classics. Some became symbols of British elegance. And some still look remarkably stylish even today. Let's begin. Number 10. The Wolseley 1660s. Introduced by the British Motor Corporation in 1961, the Wolseley 1660s was designed to give middle-class buyers a proper taste of British luxury. Under the bonnet sat a dependable 1.6-litre engine, offering smooth and relaxed driving rather than outright speed. But the real charm of the car came from its appearance. The Wolseley looked formal and expensive. It featured a distinctive illuminated grille, generous chrome details, walnut dashboard trim, and comfortable leather seating. From the outside, many people assumed it belonged to a wealthy businessman or senior company manager. Owners loved the calm driving experience and refined atmosphere inside the cabin. It felt traditional in the best possible way. Even today, the Wolseley still carries an elegant presence that makes it look far more valuable than it once was. Number 9. The Humber Super Snipe Series V. The Humber Super Snipe had already earned a strong reputation before the 1960s arrived. But the Series V version, introduced in 1964 by the Roots Group, elevated the car's luxury image even further. Powered by a smooth 3.0-litre straight-six engine, the Super Snipe focused heavily on comfort and quiet cruising. The styling looked serious and important. Wide chrome grilles, large rear fins, polished trim, and spacious interiors gave the car an almost American sense of prestige. Inside, owners enjoyed thick carpets, walnut dashboards, and broad seating that made long journeys feel effortless. Government officials and company executives often chose a Humber because it looked dignified without appearing flashy. For many people in Britain, the Super Snipe looked like a car that cost far more than it really did. Number 8. The Van den Plas Princess 3-litre. Few British cars of the era looked as luxurious as the Van den Plas Princess 3-litre. Introduced during the early 1960s, the Princess gave buyers handcrafted luxury at a fraction of Rolls-Royce prices. The design looked formal and elegant. Large chrome grilles, limousine-style proportions, and polished detailing gave the car tremendous road presence. Inside, the atmosphere felt genuinely expensive. There were fold-out picnic tables, thick leather seats, polished walnut dashboards, and enough rear legroom to rival far more costly luxury saloons. The smooth suspension made journeys feel calm and effortless. People admired the Princess because it delivered genuine luxury without requiring enormous wealth. Even parked quietly at the side of a British street, the car looked important. Number 7. The Singer Vogue. The Singer Vogue arrived in 1961 and quickly became one of Britain's cleverest attempts at affordable luxury motoring. Produced by the Roots Group, the Vogue shared much of its engineering with simpler family saloons. But visually, it looked far more refined. Extra chrome trim, elegant badging, stylish wheel covers, and improved interiors helped create the impression of a much more expensive car. Most models came with modest four-cylinder engines, but buyers didn't really care about speed. They cared about appearance. The Singer Vogue looked sophisticated outside suburban homes, office buildings, and country hotels. Families loved the feeling of driving something stylish without paying premium luxury prices. Today, the Vogue remains one of the most charming forgotten British saloons of the decade. Number 6. The Rover P4. By the 1960s, the Rover P4 already carried a strong reputation for quality and refinement. Nicknamed the Auntie Rover, the P4 combined conservative styling with genuine class and dignity. Built by Rover, the car featured smooth straight-six engines and excellent build quality. The upright design looked mature and respectable. Large chrome grilles, polished hubcaps, and carefully crafted interiors gave the Rover an expensive feel that appealed strongly to professional buyers. Inside, there were deep seats, beautiful with trim, and large steering wheels that created a warm and comfortable atmosphere. Many people believe the Rover belonged to judges, senior doctors, or successful businessmen. And in many cases, it actually did. The P4 proved that true luxury did not always need dramatic styling. Sometimes quiet elegance worked even better. Number 5. The Austin 3-liter. When British Motor Holdings launched the Austin 3-liter in 1967, the company hoped it would become a major executive car success. The car used a smooth 2.9-liter straight-six engine and featured hydroelastic suspension that delivered an exceptionally soft ride. But what really stood out was the car's size and appearance. The Austin looked enormous on British roads of the era. Its long body, wide chrome grille, and spacious cabin gave it the appearance of a much more expensive luxury saloon. Inside, buyers found leather seats, polished with trim and impressive passenger comfort. Owners loved the relaxed driving experience and the feeling of importance the car delivered. Although sales never fully matched expectations, the Austin 3-liter still carried the visual confidence of a proper executive car. Number 4. The Daimler V8 250. The Daimler V8 250 arrived in 1962 and immediately gave buyers a combination of luxury and performance that felt truly special. Produced by Daimler, the car looked similar to the Jaguar Mark II, but carried its own refined personality. Under the bonnet sat a compact 2.5-liter V8 engine that delivered smooth and surprisingly quick performance. The styling looked elegant from every angle. Chrome bumpers, graceful curves, and polished detailing gave the Daimler a truly expensive appearance. Inside, there were leather interiors with dashboards and refined craftsmanship throughout the cabin. People admired the car because it looked prestigious without being overly dramatic. Even today, many people mistake the Daimler V8 250 for a far more valuable luxury saloon. Its timeless design still feels effortlessly classy. Number 3. The Rover P5 Coupe. Few British cars looked more important during the 1960s than the Rover P5 Coupe. Introduced by Rover in the early part of the decade, the P5 Coupe became famous for its elegant roofline and quiet authority. The car came with smooth straight-six engines before later receiving the famous Rover V8. Everything about the design suggested confidence. The wide grille, low roofline, polished chrome, and formal styling made the Rover look like official government transport. In fact, several British prime ministers used Rover P5s during the era. Inside, owners enjoyed thick leather seating, polished walnut trim, and outstanding comfort over long distances. People respected the Rover because it looked expensive without appearing showy. It carried class naturally. And decades later, the P5 Coupe still looks like one of Britain's finest executive cars. Number 2. The Jaguar S-Type. The Jaguar S-Type was introduced in 1963 and quickly became one of Britain's most desirable luxury saloons. Built by Jaguar, the car offered buyers both performance and elegance in equal measure. Available with powerful 3.4-liter and 3.8-liter straight-six engines, the S-Type delivered smooth speed and refined motorway cruising. But visually, the car looked even more expensive than many rivals. Its sleek bodywork, chrome detailing, graceful curves, and low stance gave it enormous road presence. People admired the Jaguar because it looked like a car driven by celebrities, wealthy executives, or racing drivers. Inside, the cabin featured polished wood, deep leather seating, and classic British craftsmanship everywhere you looked. The S-Type represented the dream of affordable luxury. It looked rich, it sounded rich, and for many owners, it felt rich too. Number 1. The Jaguar Mark II. The Jaguar marked the second of maybe the ultimate example of a British car that looked vastly more expensive than it really was. Introduced in 1959 and hugely successful throughout the 1960s, the Mark II combined luxury, beauty, and performance better than almost any British saloon of its era. Available with several engines, including the famous 3.8-liter straight-six, the car became respected for both speed and refinement, but it was the styling that truly made the Jaguar unforgettable. The curved bodywork, chrome details, elegant grille, and balanced proportions gave the Mark II a timeless appearance that still turns heads today. Inside, everything felt luxurious. There were polished walnut dashboards, leather seats, thick carpets, and a driving position that made owners feel important the moment they sat behind the wheel. Many people assumed the Jaguar cost far more than it actually did. That was part of its magic. The Mark II delivered genuine prestige without requiring Rolls-Royce money. And perhaps that is why the car became such an icon of British motoring. Even today, it still represents the elegance and confidence of 1960s Britain better than almost anything else on four wheels. These cars represented a unique period in British motoring history, a time when style mattered, when craftsmanship mattered, and when even ordinary buyers dreamed of driving something elegant and refined. Many of these luxury saloons offered a sense of prestige that modern cars sometimes struggle to recreate. They carried chrome instead of screens, wood instead of plastic, and character instead of complexity. For many people, these cars symbolize success, ambition, and the optimism of post-war Britain. Some have disappeared almost completely from modern roads. Others became highly valuable classics. But all of them remind us of a time when British luxury cars possessed their own unmistakable identity, a quiet confidence, a calm elegance, and a charm that still feels special today. Perhaps that's why people continue to remember them so fondly, because some cars never truly lose their style, and some eras of motoring are simply impossible to forget.